Howdy, folks. Just caught me in the nick of time. Just got done working for the day at the Nelson Ranch. This hard living just ain't easy as it used to be. How about y'all join me for some pork and beans, and I'll tell you about the glory days of the Old West.
Oh hey, didn't see you there. I'm Doug Dimmadome and this is my lovely companion Wrinkles. We're here to tell you how we cowboys got our start in Texas of all places. Our job was to keep the free-range cattle from straying too far and to make sure they came back home if they did. We were also in charge of branding all the new cattle. And in order to be a cowboy, you had to be a skilled horseman and be able to use a lariat just like it's another arm. The lariat's the rope, you see in all the westerns. We drive these beef hunks to cattle shipments in Kansas, Missouri, and the Dakotas. My partner will tell you more about it next.
Driving cattle was a rough job. It took around 10 cowboys, a wagon driver, cook, and around 4 horses per cowboy. A crew that size could move about 2,500 head of cattle. The going was slow, with a good day of driving only about 12 miles. When I drove some cattle up to Montana with my friend Bob Fudge, it took 5 months to get up there.
Now, the length of the trip made it easy for cattle rustlers, bandits, and natives to attack us. In order to stop this, we armed ourselves to the teeth. That's why I got good old Bertha with me here, the only woman I'll ever need. One shot from Big Bertha here, and all them bandits scatter like jackrabbits, let me tell ya.
After the cattle business got bigger, we needed more space for grazing. The answer came in 1864, when a man was caught in a snowstorm up in Laramie Valley. In order to survive, he dug in like a tick and let his cattle go, expecting them to freeze. To his surprise, they lived and were even better off than when they started due to the massive foraging ranges. From then on, cattle were moved up to Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas, making the West basically one big free range.
The first cattle drives were as early as 1836, when Texans would take them cows and drive them on beef trails to New Orleans. In the 1840s, cattle drives started moving into Missouri. Cattle towns began popping up as a result. These included Springfield, Baxter Springs, and St. Louis.
However, due to Texan fever, a disease that kills cattle, Missouri stopped allowing Texan cows to enter their state lines in fear of giving it to other cattle. This is when cattle drives started going to where it's known for now, Kansas.
So I am confusion. Why is this one Kansas, but this one is not Arkansas? America, explain! Explain! What do you mean in Arkansas? What?
In 1867, Joseph McCoy opened a shipping facility in Abilene, Kansas. This shipping facility became the center of all cattle drives, shipping out 36,000 cattle in its first year. By 1877, new trails had forked off and now went to cities including Caldwell, Dodge City, Cheyenne, and others. By then, due to convenience, Dodge City became the capital of cattle drives, bringing in 500,000 cattle per year.
Now every trail was helpful and had its worth, but one stood above the rest. Chisholm Trail. This trail was the main trail that all the other ones connected to that led to Abilene. It was 520 miles long and was right on the 98th meridian. It became less important in 1871 due to Dodge City being the new cattle capital, but in 1880 it made a revival and was used to drive cattle north. Let's go up and look at the northern cattle and get the hell out of Dodge.
In 1866, a man by the name of Nelson Story drove 1,000 heads up from Texas through the Bozeman Trail and into the Gallatin Valley. Others followed his lead and began driving cattle in nearby areas in Montana, as well as Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Idaho. This led to the entire West being one giant free range for cattle and was the birth of a huge industry. By 1894, more than $40 million was brought into the economy by cattle, with each head selling for around $4. There's that damn train again. I guess we gotta go check it out.
This is a branch of the Continental Railroad. It was constructed from 1863 to 1869. The railroad was built from California heading east and from Omaha heading west. The plan was for the Central Pacific Railroad and the Union Pacific Railroad to meet in the middle, with each mile of track laid on level land being $16,000 and $48,000 for mountain land. The two companies raced to meet in the middle. With the Union Pacific building most of it, they met on May 10, 1869 in Promontory, Utah.
Multiple reasons led to the death of the cowboy. A big reason was the Great Die-Up. In 1886, there was a severe winter on the northern plains. It had temperatures of negative 55 degrees. Brrr! This killed 15% of the nation's cattle supply, leading towards a shift for more contained cattle ranges to keep the cattle from getting lost in harsh winters.
Now the question was, how do we keep the cattle locked up? Well, Joseph Glidden came up with the bright idea of a little thing called barbed wire. This allowed those rich landowners to keep their herd in a contained area without the need for cowboys to constantly watch out for them.
What finally killed off the cowboy was that damn railroad. Once it was finished, new faster routes were built that allowed cattle to be directly picked up in cow towns and shipped off to Dodge City. This completely eliminated the need for us and cattle drives.
From there we drifted doing odd jobs, slowly floating out of existence.
Our stories became legends of the West. Only a few of us still cling to the old ways, as much as we can at least.
Well, the boss is calling. I guess it's time for us to part ways. Thanks for listening to our story. So long, friends.